All right, welcome again to another reaction video. You know what I mean? This time we have Captain Tazaryach on the real life production, you know what I mean, YouTube page. You understand? And also on the Captain Tazaryach TV, seeing where he's gonna discuss, you know what I mean, a variety of things, but he might also touch upon the Druski, you know what I mean, skit, you know that controversial Druski skit. So, you know what I mean? This should be interesting. So, as in a jump in, remember to like, share, follow, subscribe. So, we will get straight into it.
To do with that?
Get a white girl, right?
No.
No, okay.
No.
Real life.
It ain't real life.
Real life street stars. You know what time it is.
Real life street star. Hold up.
Yeah.
We got him right back.
Yeah.
Man, Captain Tazaryach.
Tazaryach. Yeah.
For those who mispronounce it, like what
I don't get
punishment?
offended because it's not the most easy name. I remember when I first was given the name, I was like, I used to be like Tazar. I used to I had to say it a bunch of times. So I don't expect everybody to just know how to say the name because it's not an easy name. So some people would say the latter part of my name. They'll say Yak, Y-A-C-H. So they'll call me Yak. That's my nickname. So I don't get bothered by it.
All right, let's do it like this, man. For those that are deaf, dumb, stupid, living on the rock, man, let them know where you're from and let them know what are you representing because we got to get to the depths.
Yeah, definitely, man. So first, it's an honor to be on here the second time. And I'm Captain Tazaryach of ICB became Commander Jenny Honda. Born and raised Jersey City, New Jersey is where I grew up and where I'm from. I currently am I live in Jersey still, but I'm in ISUBK. My school is based out of New York, but we have schools across the world right now. But my school is based in 2279 3rd Ave in Harlem, New York. And that's where we teach Monday through Friday. And then on Saturdays when we go out on the street and teach. Now, I also do content. I do a lot of debates, a lot of battles. You know, anybody want to battle, I pretty much battle. I kind of, it's the best fishing tool.
You did a classic one with Bishop Eli on this channel.
Yes.
That was in itself interesting.
Yes, it was a great take because I watched, when you told me about him, I went and watched and he has a hell of a story. You know, the fact that he's even in the position or direction that he's in with his story, a lot of brothers don't, make that type of change. So I do honor, him in that, but it was definitely very entertaining. Yeah, having a conversation with him, man. It is. I'm gonna tell you when I was preparing, I said to myself, I didn't have no intent to like attack him at all. That was not my intent. Yeah. But I did say I was gonna test if he loved white people or not. That was gonna let me know if he was like real gangster thorough type or if he. Because I think our desire to hold on to the white man, and when we say that, it's always strange to people, but we just try to simply say it like this. Like, I have a business where I work with white people. I talk to white people, joke with white people, do all that. So the hate ain't when I see a white person talk down on them and stuff like that. It's just more so about loving our people. So I hate his drugs. I hate his abortion. I hate his LGBTQ. I hate everything that he's created that's been negative to my people. Even when you think like Trump, everything that Trump is doing is against us. Trump is taking away slavery. He wants to get rid of this history. He said he wants to get rid of the wokeness and stuff like that. So am I supposed to love that? No, I ain't supposed to love that. I'm supposed to hate that because it's against my people. So that's what I hate is, and I wanted to test that. And when I see he wasn't like that, it let me know, and then it just went crazy from there, man. And I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to see it.
That was a very good dialogue.
Yeah.
This conversation we're about to have, man, it's about to be. We're gonna jump around, but it's gonna be very powerful. Very. We about to go through there. Let me ask you first and foremost. Do you have a passport?
Yes.
Have you been to what would considered, I don't want to say a third world country, but an all melanated country. Have you been to any place?
I've been to the Bahamas twice.
Okay, yes.
And then I've been to Israel.
Okay, yes.
Yes, those are the only places I've been outside the country.
The Bahamas,
but I don't know if I would say the Bahamas is all melanated.
Yeah, but I say, where'd you go? Because you might have been on a tourist location.
Yeah, I was in a tourist location. Now, I did travel, so like when you go to the Bahamas, you go to like the little tourist spots that they have. I forget the location because this was last time. So I went twice. The last time I think was 2013, so it's been a while. But I did go over. You can catch the trolley or whatever and go over to the mainland, that they would call it.
Yeah.
And so I did go over there, but I never traveled like into the city too much.
Okay.
Of the Bahamas, I didn't travel too far into it.
So have you been to a location? Could be Atlanta, I don't know, where there was technically all melanated people. White person might have been like something scarce to you see, like, wow, there's a white person. Could you believe it? Have you ever been to a scenario like that?
What if you could make a song using only your voice? Let's start with the drums.
When I was about 21, I was in Alexander City, Alabama.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine I was in the military with. His name was Derek Peoples. And he took me there. I went and met his family and everything. That was all Black. And I didn't see not one.
So like in a town where there's people running businesses, it was Black.
No, I can't. No, not the business. Oh, if you talking about that, no, I've never seen.
Okay.
No,
okay.
I've never seen.
Oh,
I get what you asking now. No.
Yeah.
The whole Black town from the ground up. No.
Okay.
I ain't seen
it. It is a sight to see. Let's start this interview like this because I want to get an idea of the Hebrew Israelite because right now today, Druski just dropped a video as of yesterday that's going on a few million views to where he showed what the common American man sees in the Black Hebrew Israelite when they go downtown. There's a man with about 12 guys behind him with a loudspeaker, very aggressive, with a chant, various chants of how the Black man might be the master race, read your Bible, the white man may be the devil. First of all, let me get your take on the Druski Skit, how accurate it was or how far left field it was. Let me get your take.
So it was funny, but I as a Druski fan, because I like Druski.
Shout out Druski.
I thought it would have been more funny. Like Mike Epps and Ricky Harris did a Israelite skit like maybe 12, 13 years ago. It was absolutely hilarious. I think the skit that I did with the Israelites was hilarious. So it ain't even about the skits, because I think what Druski did brings awareness to the Israelites. So I'm not even mad at it.
That's right.
But after about the 50th, that's right. I'm like, come on, Druski, give me something else.
That's right.
Listen, when Robert Downey Jr. played the black guy in Tropic Thunder, he gave us something. When Druski played the white man, Druski played the white man so good, he spit at the black man as he walking by, and that shit was hilarious. So when he did the Israelite one, I do think it's funny, but it wasn't as...
He could have got deeper in his bag.
Yeah, man. I'm like, damn, okay. Because when I see the clip, I ain't like the purple. But when I see the clip, I'm like, okay, Druski doing this. I'm sitting back, I'm getting ready, watch this shit, and I'm looking at it, and I see the beginning, so I'm used to the that's right, yelling at the camp. But I ain't see nothing. When he said bow down, if he would have had that white woman bow down, I'd have been like, okay, that's us. Like, I would have been sold on it like that. So that's also, it was funny, but I thought it would have been just a little bit funny. I thought he would have put more into it.
All right, so I want to break that down piece by piece.
Right.
You yourself, have you been out on the front line of a major metropolitan area?
Yes.
And
not in Atlanta. Well, I've taught in Atlanta, Times Square, New York. I used to teach there all the time. 125th Street, Lenox Ave. I've taught in Hollywood. So I've taught in a lot of major districts.
All right. When you saw the skit, let's just jump around a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
When it comes to having a loudspeaker and trying to get the attention of bystanders. Do you feel you're effective, or do you feel that that's more of a nuisance, or do you even care?
Damn, I want to go with the last one you said first, but I'll deal with the effective. They're definitely effective. So, because like the Bible say, cry aloud, spare not. So let's say if we went out there without a megaphone, then we're screaming louder with, I don't want to say megaphone, with the speaker. So with the speaker with the mic, it's loud because of course we're using the speaker with the mic. So because we're using the speaker with the mic, that's why it's loud. It's effective because people hear it. It's a nuisance to people that don't want to hear the truth, but to those that want to hear us, that look forward to seeing us every week when we're on the corners, it's great. And then the last part, we don't care if it's a nuisance or not, because we're going to say it anyway. Because everything that we do is an offense. Just think about what we're saying. We're saying that the Israelites is black, the white man is the devil, a black man going to crack the sky open and save black people. Women got to dress better, men got to act better, stop being drug dealers, change your life, all of that XYZ. And so we expect people to be offended at that because America provides a lifestyle that's opposite of what we teach. And just like Christ said, wide is the gate to destruction, narrow is the way. So of course, the people that love the wide, we're going to be offensive. But for those that love the narrow, it's not going to be offensive. So I would say all three of them can occur at the same time.
Now, I've watched some videos of Black Israelites. They tend to come off very aggressive, especially towards white people. I've heard some even say, we're going to make slaves out of your men and your children, and we're going to rape your women. Mm-hmm. Tell me, like, is that part of it, like the thought of the whole, or is that some extreme, like?
Yeah, those are what we call fake Israelites.
Okay.
The ones that teach that you can rape a woman is not an Israelite. Like, because that's unlawful. Like, it's unlawful to force yourself onto a woman. So that's not something that we teach. But when you have sexual deviants that put on a cloth, which we see that all the time. You got pastors all the time. So these are just Israelites, uneducated Israelites that are out there teaching falsely. Even the whole aggressive with white people, the aggressive with white people, because when we speak, I can only speak for my organization, and generally I could speak for everybody else. So generally, when we speak, you're not trying to force a white person to talk to you.
Right.
But because we're speaking about the atrocities that white people commit and white people hear it, that's how the conversation starts. And what most white people believe is that we should back down to them, that what they say. Like I was doing a live stream and this caller called me and said that, white man called my show. How dare I talk the way that I talk, because black people are killing white people at an astronomical rate. That's what he said.
For sure.
So I said, well, let's have the conversation. I said, can you prove what you're saying? I asked him to present whatever data. He said, it's the FBI 2018. I go to FBI 2018. It doesn't show that data. I said, can you show me the data that you're talking about? And as he can't show it, he starts talking disrespectful. I said, your problem is I'm forcing you to prove what you're saying instead of just accepting what you're saying. And that's the offense that takes place on the street. White people expect to just come up and say, get off of that microphone. Jesus is white. Jesus is God. Jesus loves everybody. And because we don't just accept it, they get frustrated at us because the truth hurts. Mm-hmm. So then it becomes combative. But our biggest opponent ain't white people.
Right.
Our biggest opponent is black people.
For sure.
All the time. That we have more arguments with them than we do white people.
So I was just going to get to that. I watched another video. There was some black Israelites preaching, and a young brother was walking through the neighborhood. He was like, y'all need to get out of here with that shit. Mm-hmm. And they was like, what you talking about? He was like, y'all ain't no better than the pastors. Y'all sit on the corner yelling, but y'all ain't helping no families. Mm-hmm. So what makes y'all different from the church?
Because we help families. Okay. Like to address that directly. What makes us the most different than the church is that we actually tell the truth of the Bible. The church is about the performance. There was a book they wrote about the rules of the church, and they said the most important thing is that pocketbook. That's in their rules. So the whole goal is the performance. The greater the church performs, the more you'll give. So much so, what's the Winans pastor? Winans pastor, man. Winans pastor, first of all, is extorting the hell out of that church. Just think about, we're going to talk about Snap later. They can afford to give $1,200, and the pastor can say, that's not enough. And he can feel comfortable saying that $1,200, first of all, she gave $1,000, gave an extra $200, said that's not enough in front of her and her grandson that's right there. And then the saddest part about it all, as that pastor says, that's not what I said, the church laughs at it. Whereas in our school, we're going to teach the truth. You got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You got to obey the Most High. And when we pay our tithes, which we do, when we give our money, which we do, it feeds the brothers and sisters in our community. Like as we go through SNAP, we have food programs and stuff like that that's in place to take care of them.
Before we get to SNAP, I got to ask, again, I don't want to leave out the Druski Skit.
Yeah.
Black man does walk up with a white woman. Black man loves white woman. That's his love of his life. You look at that as they walk by, of course, their story is a love story.
Right.
But you look at it as what?
If they just walking by and don't say anything to us, we don't say nothing to them.
Okay.
Because, and that's what makes the skit. So now in the skit, you got to do that. Because of course, I hate seeing a black man with a white woman, just like I hate seeing a white man with a black woman. Did I say that twice?
You got it right.
Okay, all right. So, but at camp, our rules are we're not supposed to make personal attacks. Now, do other Israelite groups do that? Yes. So, like, he's not wrong with them getting attacked because that's usually what happens. But it's not supposed to because you're not supposed to make a personal attack. But when I see a black man with a white woman or vice versa, it does something to my core when I see it. So if I'm at camp, but if I'm at camp, I don't look. I might if I'm speaking, I'm ignore it. When I get down, I'm like, man, you see this nigga over here with this white devil, was with this white bitch or some shit like that. I might say something like that, but I'm not gonna make a direct personal attack at them because I believe if I make a personal attack, the Lord won't be with me with it. But if they say something to me, then the Lord will be with me because I didn't start the argument. So like those are the rules that we have within our school. So the shit's funny though.
Come on.
With the Druski skit, do you think he didn't go as deep because of the backlash he got from the previous skit with the white man?
That might play a part. Like I think if he would have went as hard, they probably would have come down on him. Like I think if he could have went as hard as he wanted to on black people and making fun of us, but if he would have went as hard like on the white side, they probably would have tried to mess with him. And he did get a lot of backlash because this 2025 age is a lot sensitive. Like when I bring up, if you watch the movie Tropic Thunder and Robert Downey Jr. is playing a black guy, it's the funniest shit ever. Nobody said nothing. When the Winans brothers is playing white chicks, it's the funniest. Nobody's saying nothing. But now, and it's even when Eddie Murphy played a white man in Coming to America, nobody said nothing. He played a Chinese man in Norbit. Nobody said nothing. But in today's day and age, they so sensitive. So that could have played a part as to why he didn't want to do it. Maybe he didn't want he already got one controversy with the white skit. He didn't want another controversy with the black skit. Maybe that's it.
Now, interracial relationships. Why?
You're one sentence away from launching your website with Base 44. Since the beginning.
A white person, not a white woman, not be redeemed if she's with a black man there's no.
Maybe she's seeking greatness.
Right.
Nah. I said one time, man, we become the pet of the white woman.
Oh.
The only thing you're giving that white woman is the rod that she's heard so many myths about. She's heard the myth about the black rod and how it's great and wonderful and it'll take care of you and change your whole life. And she wants that experience. Damn. Y'all know that show I Love New York. You remember that show?
Yep.
I had this brother. There was a brother on there. His name was It from I Love New York. It from I Love New York is in front of me and Sinetta. He got a white woman with him. This is on video. He got his white woman with her. He's talking to me because he's following Israelite and stuff like that, and we conversating about it. And I say, you are her pet. That's what I said to him directly. You are the pet of her. When she gets finished with you, she'll throw you away. When he gets the mic, he says, no, that's not true, because she likes black men more than white men, right? And he puts the mic in front of her, and she says, I'm not answering that. Because she would never on camera disrespect her white man, because you know what? She's going to go back to the white man when she gets finished. This is just a toy.
That was my very next question. We see a lot of brothers going to the white man because they feel like their black woman is not for them. Their black woman wants them to command a large income, be a certain height, look a certain way, treat them a certain way. And it all seems like you don't love a black man just because he's black. He has to be coming with something. Mm-hmm. What would you say about like the black woman making it hard to love her?
Okay, the black woman and black man ain't making it hard to love each other because they fucking like crazy. We're gonna do some fucking. Yeah. Like, because they having sex the way that they having sex, it's hard for me to believe that the man has to jump through hoops. So it's almost like two different conversations. Social content wise, if you look at black content, right? Black content is a black man having a channel dissing the shit out of black women, a black woman having a channel dissing the shit out of black men. But they're all having sex with each other. They're all sleeping with each other. I remember this girl, Cynthia G, used to call black men failures and said, you broke, you this, I'm not sleeping with you. And used to get on men that had multiple baby daddies, and then lo and behold, had a baby by a nigga that got multiple baby daddies. Yeah. But when it comes to relationships, we don't have a concept of relationships today. The reason why we don't have a concept of relationships because we've never seen it as a kid. As kids, you're supposed to see your mother and father is supposed to be the first relationship that you see, that you learn from. And so because we don't see that, we don't see our father love our mother love our father. You know what we see? We see constant conflict. So when we say when a woman says a man has to make this amount or that amount, you know what that is? I would call that prostitution.
For sure.
Is what you got to call it. Like the black woman is becoming a prostitute. Summer Walker, this bitch is a monster. Summer Walker just said that when she uses you up for your money, she's going to leave you. So now, what is a black man supposed to do with that?
Get a white girl, right?
No.
No, okay.
No. That would be the worst thing.
The worst thing you could do, for sure.
Because
Mexican?
Well, Mexican is an Israelite, so I wouldn't have no problem with a Mexican.
Look, we could.
But I'll tell you this though. Here's the most important part that a black man is supposed to think when it comes to the black woman, is that she's destroyed because we destroyed her. Nobody can fix the black woman but a black man.
Amen.
Nobody can fix the black man but a black woman when we talk about relationships. As far as a black man, period, though, a black man has to fix him. Once you can understand that, you can start with the next thing that it takes. It's just compassion. When you see that black woman and she messed up, if I was to have a conversation with Summer Walker, somebody over-sexualized her. Somebody abused her. Somebody did something to Summer Walker that changed her whole concept of relationships, and nobody's ever counseled her on it. Nobody's ever cared that she was ran through by somebody that changed her thought process. Somebody taught her that. So it's going to take somebody to go to her and not want her for sex, but to just heal that part in her, to change her. Just like for the brothers that sleep with women, throwing them away. Somebody over-sexualized him. One of the things we don't always talk about is how men get sexualized. I saw some old video of this guy Saeed on some podcast, and these girls start twerking on him, and he don't want to get twerked on live TV.
Right. Zoe and
Zoe and them, right? And he puts out a video saying how, they got banned from Twitch, but he didn't want that. That was sexual assault, and that he suffers from depression, from suicide before that. Right. And so I just enhance it. And then when you look at the comments,
hi, I'm an AI. I can trade for you.
And women in the comments is like, nigga, you should have just got the ass. You should have let them twerk on you. Why you acting like that? You's a pussy, you this, you that. Because you can abuse a boy sexually, nobody will say nothing. But nobody thinks about when that boy grows up and it's time to be in a relationship, he goes with his relationship experience, which is abuse. And so that's how he becomes abusive. Like, we are destroyed relationship-wise because nobody goes into the psychological damage that's been done to us. That's what we do in our school. Like, everything that I'm telling you, I had to actually go and study and read books and take classes to be able to understand that part. But that's why we're the way we are.
What should a good black man, are some of the attributes he should have even before he approaches a black woman?
He has to be dominant within himself. Like, you got to be, when I say dominant, your woman ain't who you lean on and cry on. Like, you don't go to her to lean and cry on. She come to you to lean and cry on. So whatever is wrong with you has to be fixed before you go with that woman. Because when you going to get that woman, you're going to rule that woman. And if you can't rule yourself, you can't rule nobody else.
Yeah.
So I would say you start there.
So, because I've always believed.
You like that rule part?
Yeah. No, my thought process has always been, woman cry to man, man cry to God. If you got to cry.
Or a brother, like you better find a brother. When the Bible said brother is born for adversity.
Yeah.
You can't go and cry to your woman. And then later on, you a gangster.
There's a season of, I'm sure you don't watch it, but a show called Love is Blind on Netflix, where the current season, there's a black man. He's the only black man on the whole show. And he's very emotional. He cries to his girl every second.
She has no respect for him. And
she says it's a form of manipulation to try to get her to fall for his love. Yeah, for his game. Can you see a black man using crying as a form of manipulation?
Yeah. Yeah, you can't see. Why not?
Listen, why
not? Black men, like that crying, I guarantee he saw his mama do that. Boy. He didn't see his daddy do that. He didn't grow up seeing his daddy do it. He probably seen his mom or his auntie cry and get what they want. Or growing up without a father, he cried to get what he want, and his mother gave it to him. So what's that, Oedipus complex? Where you develop that with the woman that you get. So whatever worked on your mama is what you use on her.
Come on now.
Yeah, but she'll never respect him. And the fact that she's calling it manipulation is her saying, I don't give a fuck about your tears.
Come on.
That's all that's going to be. So you have to be a man. A man takes power. Like in that conversation when we was talking with Bishop and them, and they said, we ain't supposed to be superior. You're absolutely supposed to have a superior mind state. It's not a superior mind state to be a tyrant, but it is a superior mind state when you want to do something that you can believe that you can go do it. Black men are not taught that. We're not taught to believe that you can go do it.
But when you talk about the sinning and the 7 deadly sins, pride is one of them.
Superior is not pride.
Yeah, but I say, where is it a blurred line?
I don't know nothing that ain't really a blurred line. Like you could be aggressive and then overly aggressive. So, and your superiority is about controlling yourself. You'll know that it's pride when someone tries to correct you, say, hey, you're going too far. You're like, you can't tell me what to do because I'm not talking about that. Nobody should be above counsel or listening to what somebody says. If I can't listen to what somebody's telling me, then maybe pride is getting in the way. If you don't at least consider what they might be. And of course, what I'm saying is not what anybody would say. It's only what would certain people say. So like everybody in this room, I wouldn't say you got to listen to. But you might have one person in this room that if he or she says something, you're going to take that in consideration because you've examined them. You respect their position. So everybody that you're not listening to doesn't mean you have pride, but it's always that one person that knows you or that second person that knows you that's giving you some advice. And if you can't listen to that, then that's pride. But Black men need a heavy dose of power or learning how to take power and achieve power. And it starts from the ground up. Like our school, we have, if I come into my school, I came in as what we call a young man. So I'm on my way to get power. Then you become a trooper. Then you at another level get power. Then you become an officer of 50. You at another level of getting power. Then you raise up in ranks. And as you raise up in ranks, you're learning how to achieve power. And so that same concept can be in a man in his house. A man may not know how to rule his house because he's never seen it. Like we don't even know how to be parents. We don't know how to lead. We learn it on the fly. Like there is no blueprint in a Black household today. You can establish it, but to establish it, you have to learn. So once you learn that, once you develop the skill set, you can become dominant, but you should be that before you get a woman because you can't leave that woman once you get her. You got to stay with that woman.
The Christian nationalist, is that of God?
Yeah.
What is
Christian
that?
That's a Satan right there. Okay. Listen, Donald Trump be applauding his pastors, and all his pastors is getting arrested for child molestation. All of them. And anybody just look it up, you'll see all the MAGA pastors getting arrested for molestation. You'll see the robbery of the church when Eddie Long said, close the doors. I said, close the doors. He ain't letting you outside.
Streetwear state of mind.
His money. The fact that the church is about prosperity is the opposite of Christ. If you're going to say you're about Christ, remember when the rich man came to Christ, Christ said, sell all you have and follow me.
Yeah,
that rich man said, nah, I'm good. I'm going to just keep doing this over here. But the church pushes prosperity. And the Bible said that a person that pushes prosperity is destitute in his mind.
So
perverse, actually, in his mind.
So should a leader, a pastor, a leader, should they not have wealth?
Absolutely, they should. The Bible say wisdom is a defense and money is a defense. Okay. So we not about not making money. I mean, you have to, listen, the more money you can make, the better. It's what you do and how you go about getting the money. That's the issue I have. So the issue with the church is they'll tell you God's laws are done away with, but pay that 10%. Pay this tithe. Whatever that $2,000 that the Winans brother is collecting, I guarantee you the seed that they plant, I guarantee you it's not for the people, it's for him.
Yes.
They feed themselves. You give that money to us, it's going to feed us.
Since you spoke on the Winan situation, $2,000, of course, that was the going rate of what they wanted people to tithe or pledge or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Someone comes up, says, hey, I got $1,200. Actually, I got $1,000 plus $200 for my son.
Right.
It comes to $1,200. We just want to give this. And for the church not to accept that, or for the deacon, the pastor, the bishop to not accept that and say, no, we said 2,000. Right. Meaning that, I don't know if he was talking to her or to everyone else about to come, whoever else about to come up next.
You better have that 2,000.
Yeah, like we here for a certain reason.
Right.
Tell us your thought process on the vessel of that message.
Well, first I want to say that's extortion. That's the first thing I want to say. That's extortion, and the pride and the mind control that the pastors know. That's what I knew. I knew how much mind control the pastors have over the church. Because when he said, I didn't ask for that, without hesitation, she said, well, I'm going to try harder. Because what the church knows is that public perception is everything to everybody. You notice how we always want to make sure we have the flashiest car. We want to have the biggest hat, the best jewelry, the best clothes, the best watch, the best everything. And not just for us, but for everybody to see. So the pastor knows that. That's why the pastor knows he can't come in there dressed like how we dress. He got to come in there dressed looking the part of a rich man. Because as he's looking there, the church people want to feel like they're following a rich man so that they can get rich. And they believe if I give this money, I'll get rich. And what the pastor knows, if I ask for 2,000 and you come with this 12, the reason why he can check her and say, I didn't ask for that, is because he know that everybody is going to support him because nobody wants to be embarrassed, including her. Even though she didn't have the other 8, even though she gave her 100,000, grandson give the $200, given all that they had, because she didn't want to be embarrassed, she said, I'll try harder. And that's even more extortion and manipulation. And that's what every pastor knows about the church.
Do you not think it's setting a precedent if they have like a goal they're trying to reach and they want people to come up and give 2,000 a piece, and those y'all come up to give this, somebody coming up giving less than, he's like, I have to set a precedent that this is not what we're doing, because the next man might give 800. The next man might give 400. Now we're losing
the hustle. I remember when I was a kid, I went to this church, Cathedral Faith Baptist Church, and the pastor that was over the church, he had a board. On the board, let's say if the goal, I can't remember the exact goal, but let's say the goal was $1,500, right? He would have Brother Kennedy, Brother Smith, he would have everybody's name lined up on that chart, and he would color in. So that if the goal is down here and your name starts here, as you gave money, he would color in your progress. And so everybody that would come to church, they would see your progress. And so if your shit wasn't colored in, everybody would know you're not giving money. Ooh. So you giving money just so it's colored in progress. The pastors know how to hustle. So when you say he got to set a precedence, you're right. Because now the show off is to show you got money. It's damn near like buying the bottles at the club.
Yeah,
when you buying the bottles at the club, what you get? You get the bottle ladies coming. Yeah. Everybody see the bottle ladies coming, the sparks is going, and now all the attention is on you. So the pastor know if I set this to $2,000, you want to flex, you're going to flex by giving him the $2,000. So he's taking advantage of your desire to flex too. And that's how they manipulate. It's all the hustle. That's why it's extortion. And then when you go home, you feel empty.
Come on.
Because now you done after you done bought the bottle ladies and you go home and that bill got to get paid, you go like, damn, I shouldn't have bought the bottle ladies. After you give that $2,000 to that pastor and you come home and that bill got to get paid, you feel bad because you know you can't even go to the pastor and say, hey, my gas bill about to
I need that back.
Yeah.
What do you say to the person that was like, I gave $500 to the church and then I left and I got a check in the mail for $3,500.
What's the $3,500 for?
Who knows? They probably got.
I'm gonna tell you, I watched this movie called Leap of Faith, and after I watched that movie, I never believed them stories.
Okay.
It's hard for me to believe. Now, let's say it could have been something that they were supposed to get anyway, and it just happened to come at that time. More than likely, that's what it is. Yeah. A check they were supposed to get, they've been waiting on the check. It'd be crazy. They've been waiting on the check 6 months, and now that they done gave this $500 and it finally came, they think it's the Lord. It ain't the Lord. They just finally sent the check.
But who knows? But you know,
the Lord put that time in there.
He don't come with that time. He might not come when you call.
Right.
But he always
come on.
Just always remember the Lord ain't gonna be about your money.
For sure.
Just like you know how when a woman say, my intuition let me know you was cheating. But a woman's intuition never lets you know when your man was in pain, when your man wanted a meal, when your man needed this, or your man needed some sex. Your intuition ain't never kicking on that, only when he's cheating. That's how they treat their type of blessing. They don't look at when the Lord punishing them for their evil. They don't look at when the Lord punishing them for their breaking his commandments. They don't look at that as a message. They don't do that.
All right, I'm still circling around the Druski skit.
Right.
You stated that, of course, you got your hierarchy went up in the teachings of course, the Hebrew Israelites, and you see Druski on the police pull up.
Right.
Everyone's arrested. He's the main one. The followers are going to stay there with him until he says, "Hey, this is what we're doing." Is it that type of devotion that if you were arrested, those under you will be like, "Shit, we arrested too, and we ain't moving"? If you say, "Hey, we ain't moving, this is what we own," would they be like, "This is what we own too"? And is that what you expect of them?
No, I don't expect that. So if a cop comes, depending on the situation, you would just follow whatever is within the law. Like, we are law-abiding citizens. We're not gonna break the law. So if a cop comes and he's like, we'll usually have our paperwork. So we at the camp speaking, we have our permit to be able to speak. The permit is only for the sound. Our First Amendment right, you have the right to assembly, you have the right of free speech. So we'll just follow the rules. Let's say if it gets hectic and a brother gets arrested, that brother may get arrested, and then we'll just go down to the precinct and then just see, what the issue is. I remember one time when I was in Times Square, this cop comes and he was like, "We ain't supposed to be here." I said, "Well, I talked to Officer Spano. He said we could be here." They took my license. They want, "Can you give us your ID?" I give them the ID. They had my license so long. I remember my general came up to me and was like, "You sure you ain't got no warrants?" I didn't have no warrants. He come back, give it, and then just step off. There's a way to deal with the police where you don't have to get arrested. But when you're overly aggressive or unseasoned or undisciplined, like we have a slogan in our school, we are trained professionals, do not try this at home because it's a serious game. So you can have unlearned individuals go out there, don't know how to talk to the police, and then get themselves arrested. Most times for us, when we go out there and deal with the police, there is no issue of arrest. We just communicate with them and keep it moving.
Why do you even recognize the white man's law?
Well, the Bible says you got to recognize the law, as long as it don't conflict with the Bible. As long as it don't conflict with God's laws, there's nothing wrong with not speeding. There's nothing wrong with obeying the laws of the land. That's not a big deal.
All right. Lastly, on the Druski Skit, I got to round it off because at the very end,
right,
Druski took that off and said, "Talk to the white girls like, where y'all going? We trying to kick it. What's good?" So let me ask you, what are your thoughts about the hypocrite Hebrew Israelite who will preach all that, say be right there by your side, be like, "Hell nah, black power."
Yeah.
And then when the cameras go away or when they're by themselves, they talk to Susan or Sally or Becky.
Yeah, our greatest slogan is, we are not affiliated with no other Israelite group at all. Every video we play, it says that we are not affiliated, because you have Israelites like that do exist. You have Israelites out there that believe you can sleep with white women. You have Israelites that say one thing and do another, and they are hypocrites. What I'm gonna say about the skit, though, that's old though. Like saying because I remember watching "I'm Gonna Get You Sucker" in the pro with a white woman. Don't be a menace. So that's what I mean. Like, he should have did something a little better. But I get why he did it, because that's a known thing that they say they pro-black, but they really dealing with the white woman. So,
I think Druski was really trying to holler at them females, though. I ain't gonna lie.
He probably was. I mean, he probably don't have the rules that we have. But they are definitely hypocrites. They're a detriment to what we do. Like, the Israelites that are not properly taught out there how to do this work, they are definitely a detriment to what we do.
All right. So let's go and get serious, man, for a second, man. Let's talk about the situation that's going on. Let's speak on the government shutdown. They say that the food stamps, the SNAP situation is not part of the government shutdown, which we'll circle back to that. But I do know that the government shutdown is affecting traffic control, air traffic control. I'm sorry. A lot of military aren't getting paid. A lot of banks are trying to step in and help those who are affected by the government shutdown, to help them with paychecks. As far as this seems to be, I would say maybe a white man's problem, because this is America at the end of the day.
Right.
What are your thoughts when you hear that the government shut down because the Democrats and Republicans can't come up to a decision about whatever bill or whatever they're trying to do? What is your thoughts on that? Does it even matter to you? I remember you said earlier with the Bishop Eli situation, you said you were excited about this time because this is seems like the fall of Babylon. It's time for us to go.
The fall of America, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I care about it and don't care about it. I care about it in the sense of watching biblical prophecy with the fall of America. I don't care about it because at the surface level, it's a white man's problem, right? This is the Democrats and Republicans. Have their paychecks stopped?
No, this is all the other people.
Right. And I think what we need to realize is that America just doesn't care about us. Like these are two rich factions that are arguing that the poor have to suffer for. Even the SNAP, which they say is not, they claim that it's not a part of the government shutdown. This is how much Donald Trump hates Black people. Donald Trump hates Black people so much that he'll make his poor white people suffer just so we can get punished. Think about that.
Come on. So I'm under the influence that Donald Trump doesn't hate Black people. He just hates everyone. I don't think he's racist. I think he's just evil.
I would beg to differ. I see Donald Trump. What's the sister we were just talking about? That fine sister from Dallas.
Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah.
Shout out Jasmine. Jasmine Crockett.
Shout out to Jasmine, boy. If I could ever meet Jasmine one-on-one, y'all bring her back on this couch.
We'll make that.
Yes. Thank the Lord. Let her come down here. Let her sit right here. We could talk politics. We could do all that, right, Akad? Salakia. And so he talks about Black women like a dog. I remember in 2024 or 2023 when he was running for office in Chicago and those Black women was asking him questions and them Black women was fierce with it. They was straight to the point. And he started talking, he was going at Kamala Harris and then he was trying to question everything about them and he was trying to make them not be intelligent. Then I saw him with Jasmine try to say that she's unintelligent. And that sister is extremely intelligent. And he just doesn't like that the Black women won't back down from him because he's a white man that wants to say what it is, and that's that. When it comes to Black people, he want to put Black people in their place. The DEI, before the shutdown, the DEI, I remember arguing with, saddest part, I was arguing with Black men trying to defend Donald Trump and the DEI with the airplane pilots. And I said to him, it's only 3% of Black people that are pilots.
Right.
So that means that 97% represents the crashes. So shouldn't they want more Black people to fly the planes? Because clearly the 97% are causing the crashes. There's nothing that's not racial about Donald Trump. Mm. Even if, what's the Puerto Rican brother that's supposed to perform at the Super Bowl?
Bad Bunny.
Even that's racist.
Yeah, so that was my thing is like, it doesn't seem like
what if there was a song about young,
like for instance, like he doesn't like immigrants, so he doesn't like Hispanics, he doesn't like the Asian community. It's not like
he's a bitch when it comes to them Asians. He don't do nothing to them Asians. What do he do to them Asians?
Well, he
bowed down to the Asians.
No. When COVID came out, he blamed him.
What did he do to the Asians though?
He didn't do
nothing because he's a bitch to the Asians.
So he blamed him for COVID. He didn't do nothing. No. So
with the immigrants, he building a wall. He got ICE. With Black,
I would say with the immigrant, the wall is.
Just think about this. Donald Trump. You named the Hispanics or the Latinos. He got ICE on them. You named the Blacks. He's getting rid of DEI, getting rid of slavery. The National Museum, shutting that down. But the Asians, he ain't doing shit to the Asians. He ain't doing shit. He ain't doing shit to the Russians. They're white people.
White people.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. You said he hates everybody. Remember you tried to say he hates everybody. He don't hate everybody. He hates Blacks and Latinos. That's who he hates.
Well, so I say that to say because DEI, white women are the largest recipient. The recipient.
That's if you're intelligent, you know that
for sure.
But for the world, DEI is for Black people. Trump knows that we're gonna believe that's for Black people, and so it's for attacking black. That's why the statement I made was he hates black people so much, he'll get rid of he getting rid of food stamps, even though more white people are on food stamps than black people. He'll get rid, even though they don't have to. I was seeing this report now. They don't have to cancel SNAP.
They don't have to. They have enough money. They had enough money for 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years. They don't have to cancel SNAP.
Correct.
Even with the budget, it's like 1.4% of the $1 trillion debt.
Correct.
So then you got to ask yourself, why are they doing it?
Oh, the point.
And this what I want my people to understand the most. This ain't the time to say, nah, I have black women. This ain't that time to do that.
Yeah. Why I seen a nigga cracking a joke. He was like, yeah, we about to bring that $40. Why do you think
like they about to be selling vagina for $40?
Why? What is it about us that think it's this the time to play?
The white man did a great thing, man. Like the white man is a puppet master on black men and black women. He created a divide in us.
Willie Lynch.
Yeah. He created a divide in us that we look at losing food stamps as only a loss for black women. I don't know if y'all know, black men benefit from food stamps too. Everybody benefit from food stamps, but we look at this as a loss for black women.
The food stamp line is mostly black women. I've been in the food stamp line before. I've seen
it's
it.
Mostly white people.
Yes.
In our community.
Again,
black people.
I'm gonna speak for Dallas-Fort Worth. I've seen a lot of black women in that line.
I'm not saying that black men go and get it.
Oh, they do?
No, but you're saying you see more black women.
Yeah, I do see more black women.
Doesn't matter which one go and get it. We both benefit from it.
Oh yeah, facts.
That's what I'm saying.
What office do you go to? Because you know there's multiple food stamps.
Garland off of Northwest Highway.
But see how you even know where it's at? So like when we laugh, so when we want to laugh at black women, but then when it's time to go food shopping, and now you got to buy the food, and then look at the cost of food.
Yeah, no. So now let's have a real conversation because November 1st, today is October 30th. Let's just say
2 days. I think Saturday, right?
Saturday.
Yeah.
And I've watched a lot of TikTok videos, a lot of Instagram videos of black people. Black women are sensationalizing this thing versus white people. Again, I'm just saying what's in my algorithm. A lot of black people, a lot of black women are saying, hey, if I lose these benefits, we're about to go stealing food. It's about to be a problem. One black lady in Detroit said, we're about to start coming after white people. We're going to eat white people because that's how hungry we going to be. So like, and again, it's all entertainment to me as I'm watching it. But for those who are really serious about like, my children don't have nothing to eat. I do have 4 kids, 3 baby daddies. I'm sorry. I had to put that out there. I'm just saying, I do have 4 children. I got to feed. And these $1,300 I'm getting every month is like my hustle. And I'm losing my hustle. It's not even for food. It's not even for food.
You can't even ask the question without throwing the
because I'm giving you a real scenario.
No, I've dated a black woman who was collecting food stamps, and she would not sell. She would not. She would use every single dollar to feed her children. She was like, this money is for my kids.
You know what? For the name brand shit or the Walmart, the great value.
You can't get certain shit.
Hey, y'all remember when the towers fell and they said we was in the Great Recession?
For sure.
Who was in the recession?
White people.
Well, not us.
Not us.
Black people always been in the recession.
Yeah.
And we survived it. And what was white people doing? What was the suicide rates during the recession?
Yeah, 2008, the collapse of the mortgage industry, things of that nature. White people were suicide.
Yeah, suicide rate went through the roof because you know who's not built for the struggle? White people. You know who is built for struggle? Black people, because that's all we've ever done. You know what black women and black men are going to do? They're going to survive. They're going to be forced to be compassionate. That brother is not going to want to be put on child support and want to go through the court. So he's going to make it his business to make sure them kids get fed. That woman is now it won't be a lot of bars popping. You know what might happen? We might fuck up the economy. We just might. Because instead of going to the club, my kids got to eat. Maybe it forces us to have a better morale about what we spend our money on. Because now, whereas if you had $900 in stamps, you can spend an extra $400 on some bullshit. But now you don't have $900 in stamps. So now that $400 got to go to something else. Maybe you'll start being more responsible. That's what I foresee. I don't think, like, black people be so scared because white people are scared. Like we move with the propaganda of the media. That's why that Great Recession was a big thing for us. And I used to walk around like, well, okay, what's changed? We live in the same exact way. So is it going to be a struggle for black people? Yes. Is it going to be something that they're going to have to deal with? Yes. But is it going to be where we're going to die and be unaliving and doing all the stuff that he said? No. But watch white people if that goes away.
Do you think we're, as a black person, we take too much pride in struggling? I say that to say because we've grown so accustomed to the struggle that we've learned to sensationalize it and make it like this should be make it cool. We don't need to. We could live off the noodles. We could live off the XYZ, the beanies and weenies. Like instead of figuring out a way to get to a point to where we don't know what the struggle is.
The problem with the struggle is not we love the struggle, but we love the floss in the struggle.
Got to.
Like the motherfucker in the projects got a Benz.
Yeah, got to, man. Hustle and flow, man.
So it's the struggle. So it's like we glorify the struggle, but we don't want nobody to know that we struggling. So as we struggling, we wear things to show that we're not struggling, but that keeps us in the struggle. That's it's not that we can't get out the struggle.
It's a mind fuck.
It's we can absolutely get out. I always say that drug dealers make millions of dollars a year off of junkies. So it ain't that there ain't no money in the black community. We just don't know what to do with the money in the black community. So we only struggle because of our mind state. You change your mind state and say, okay, I don't have to buy these sneakers. I don't have to buy that chain. I don't have to buy that car. I'm gonna buy this. It ain't gonna be the chain. It's gonna be something else. But in 2 years, I'll have the chain and I'll be more financial literate. Like financial literacy is what they call it. But I really would like to talk us to be able to be more socially intelligent.
Yeah.
You know that you can build an app in minutes with Base 44. Now watch what.
Socially intelligent meaning you're not concerned with what they're doing on social media because that's the bar of how you're supposed to look. The reason why women change their bodies because of social media. The reason why men dress the way they dress so they think they got to get a particular type of woman is because of social media. But if we go back to what I was saying earlier, as a man, your power is within. If you can learn that part, and then you ain't got to buy the Nikes, you might have to buy some low-level shoes. You might have to get the New Balances that might be cheaper. You might have to get the Asics that might be cheaper. And although they're cheaper and you ain't got them Air Maxes that's $200, you got that $200 in your pocket and you're not struggling. So access to money is never the problem. What we do with the money is the problem.
So this construct called America, you know, they put things in our face to where, of course, we were freed, technically, quote unquote, back in the 1800s, to where you see what they call the American dream is what they presented to us. A house, picket fence, Cadillac, a Ford or something, owning a car, things of that nature, being able to travel. They put that in our face to where a black woman sees that, hey, the American dream is having some type of wealth. And when I say some type of wealth, I mean, I want to have what my counterpart white woman has. And black man, you have to be able to provide that to me. A black man looks at that as, okay, I have to get the Cadillac. I got to get the house. I got to do these things to be able to provide for this black woman. Do you feel that we are set up in a system to where we are doomed to fail because the white man does paint a beautiful picture of what is supposed to be paradise on earth? And therefore, we are technically handicapped in last place and have to do certain things to obtain that. So when you talk about the drug dealer, the scammer, or whoever trying to obtain that quicker, do you blame them for what they're trying to obtain because of what their woman is seeking? Because the woman says, hey, a perfect life is that white picket fence.
Yeah, I do blame them because the problem that we all have is living the white man's dream. The white man, how did he get his dream?
He painted that motherfucker. Yeah, no, off the back of slaves, off the back of killing and pillaging and violence.
Right. And so how are you going, if you go by the white man's dream, how are you going to have to get that dream?
The same way.
And who are you going to kill and unalive and destroy? Your own people.
God damn.
A white man does it by destroying other people. Eventually, he fights himself. But before he fights himself, he fights the enemies of himself. Then he ends, like the Democrats and Republicans fight now, but they already done beat everybody else down. They already got rid of DEI. They already got the ICE. They already got all that. So now they got time to fight against each other. Even when they established the 13 colonies, they fight against the British, separate from them. Then they continue to enslave us, punish us, kill us. And so when we live our dream, we learned how to live according to them. So we kill because we live like them. We sell drugs because we live like them. Our whole concept of gaining wealth is through blood, through murder. Any way, manifest destiny is the way that we do it. The only answer is to establish our own way. In the Israelite School of UPK, we establish our own way, and that's together. By building up, if it's a hustle, we work together. Okay, you want this house? We're going to do this house together. I'm going to set the rules how we're going to get this house. You're going to work here, I'm going to work here. We're going to establish that. But we're not unaliving, we're not killing, and we also don't need it today. That's the other problem we have. We don't want to have a dream that's 2 years away, 3 years away, or goal that's 2 years away, 3 years away. We need this in 6 months. We need this in 3 months. We have to have this block. We have to have this car. We have to have this house. We have unrealistic dreams from looking up to the white man. And so that's why. So I still blame the drug dealer, because a woman shouldn't control what you do to get what you need. You should control that. And if that woman telling you I need a house and she can't respect that this house takes time, then that's not a woman you should have. There's plenty of women out there.
And with the SNAP benefits being cut, I know like with COVID, it kind of like changed our perception of the dollar because it was coming more easily. Do you think like them cutting off SNAP is going to change our perception back to like the worth of the dollar?
Yeah, it's going to change our perception of our worth of money, period. We're going to be making lifetime decisions.
Come on.
Don Julio Reposado, hamburgers.
Come on.
You're going to be making that decision. Hamburger buns, that Don Julio about to slow down.
Shit.
You know what I mean? That stir up, whatever they buying. You know, even your hair. Listen, women going to be holding that hair longer than they did. They're going to be, them nails might not get done as much. You're going to be making real lifetime decisions because you don't have that assistance. And then it might teach you something to where even when you get the assistance, you might better value what you're doing with the money. But just mark my words, Black people are going to be fine. And the initial hit is going to be messed up because ain't nobody prepared for November 1st. Nobody. Ain't nobody holding on to the money, which would be smart. You would think the smart thing to do if you got $800, if you got $500 left on that card, because that money don't go away. That stays there. And if you just hold that, but if you sitting out there, well, I'm going to just buy all this stuff now because I'm going to see how this is going to be, you're not being smart. So the initial hit is going to be rough. And you just going to have to reevaluate how you do things. It might cause you to apologize for being a wicked monster to your man.
Come on.
It might humble you down. Isaiah 4:1 said, that day 7 women shall take hold of one man as long as you take our reproach away. You might call Rodney and say, hey, man, you know what it is, man. I'm sorry. Let's try to build this back. You might try that. He's going to say, hey, F you, bitch, you ain't only with me for this tandem. You might say, you're right. But let's look at this as an opportunity to see where we get. You see, we got a little tink here. We got to take care of him. So let's work this out. It might cause that.
Yeah.
It just might.
Okay, let me ask you, when you look at something like Hurricane Melissa out in Jamaica, where it's nothing but black people getting devastated here, and it went through Haiti, and it's our colored people getting devastated. Do you look at that as a cleansing?
What you mean by cleansing?
When I say cleansing, you have different type of COVID-19 plagues, pandemics.
You want to go down a conspiracy theorist hole, like Hart and all that.
All that, when you see the black man getting devastated, where it's nothing but a black community being devastated by God's hands. Again, I don't want to put it like it's a machination or mechanical or anything, but I want to put it by God saying, "This is who I'm choosing to hate." And I'm not saying a lot of people die, but I'm saying to make them aware that He exists. Like, listen, whatever evils is going on, I'm cleansing this land.
It could be like hurricanes. When you see floods, the Bible speaks about hurricanes and floods coming from the Most High. So that could be a cleansing. I don't know. I was trying to look up the hurricane seasons, and I didn't know that the hurricane season lasted until November. So is that normal? Or maybe somebody can help me.
Starting in August.
For just $67, you can generate as many videos as you want and never have to.
Till November, yes. It starts around August.
Okay. So this is the normal thing, but Jamaica, of course, is being hit harder than
when you hear things like we haven't seen this type of storm in 100 years.
Right.
Which 100 years is minuscule to humanity. But when you see things like that, it's like Hurricane Category 5 hitting this location, haven't seen this in 100 years. Katrina in 2005.
Katrina a little different because Katrina, you can go down a conspiracy hole because they always talk about the levees, when the levees broke.
It wasn't a hurricane, yes.
Right. That with the hurricane, though, I think hurricanes happen. And so hurricanes is something that does happen. What I always like to point out anytime I can, I haven't seen a lot of Pray for Jamaica posts. I haven't seen a lot of. I ain't seen it. From my school, I've seen it, but I haven't seen, I remember when Paris had a bomb, everybody was like, pray for Paris. And anything happens, the white people pray for this and pray for that. But I haven't seen no pray for Jamaica because you can't do nothing against the hurricane. What can you do to the hurricane? You can't do none of that. All you can do is prepare for it. And our people, because I seen some of our people playing dominoes. Our people crazy. Listen, you didn't see that video?
Come on. Yeah, I see them right there. They dominoes in the water.
And now back to the tandem thing and come right back. Our people could play dominoes in the middle of the damn hurricane. We gonna survive the food stamp crisis.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. We're gonna laugh and have fun doing it.
Yeah, but a cleansing part, I can't argue you with that because the Most High can cause the hurricanes and floods. But I would say we should pray for them brothers and sisters that's out there.
Definitely, man. Let's pray for Jamaica, man, and what they're going through. I got to take this time to speak to you about this NBA gambling situation, man. For what
racist Donald Trump, man.
For what they put out there, we see us. We see us at the head of this, and I've seen every other race speak about it. The mafias, the Italians, the white. I see them all
in the 90s, man, when Gambino, I remember when John Gotti, Sammy the Bull, and all of them was getting arrested, you saw all of them in the paper. You saw their picture, you saw their image, you saw everything. The NBA, which support the left, which will make them against the right, it's not a coincidence that they did it on opening day. They only show Chauncey Billups and Rozier, is that his name?
Chauncey Billups and
Rozier.
Anybody got the name?
Terry Rozier.
Yeah, Terry Rozier.
Right? But where's the mob faces at?
Come on.
There's they said it's like 3 or 4 mob families that are a part of this, but the only people that they make the face, the only people that they show getting arrested, leaving out of the courtroom is black people. which is the point. Like, people hate when we say America is racist. People hate when we say Donald Trump is a racist. But somebody explain to me why they only showed Chauncey and him. And you can't say because they're popular. You can't use that excuse. Chauncey Billups is just a coach in the NBA.
Yeah, I didn't even know who he was.
The mob is the mob. We ain't even heard of the mob in a long time.
Yeah, the mob like to keep their name.
I didn't even know if there was still a mob.
I didn't either.
Keep their names.
But the mob is such a big thing, and the fact that they're not being shown, and it's only a black face being shown, that's why everybody is calling it for what we all know that it is. This is the FBI punishing the NBA for their support of the left. That's what this is. Now, does this mean that Chauncey and them didn't gamble? No. Does it mean that they did gamble? No. I don't know if they did or if they didn't. But you know that it's racist by the way that they conducted. If they would have showed mob faces, then you could be like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Then they avoid it. But they want you to know exactly what they're doing. And then you got the cross-eyed FBI director trying to say, no, they've been investigating it for years. They could have been investigating it for years. But it's still because the NBA supports
Yeah, if they was investigating it for years, they would know it wasn't two niggas that's running this.
running
this whole gambling operation.
Two niggas that got poker tables with X-ray shit, so when the cards is down, you can see it.
They invented the X-ray glasses, so they.
Yeah, this is some white people shit. But they're not bringing the white people. This for black people. Stop being criminals.
Come on, man. Come on.
You cannot live like the white man and expect to get the benefits or benefit of the doubt like the white man. If it wasn't for them two players, you would hear about it, but it would be low level. It wouldn't be no. Why is it such a major thing? It's a major thing to put a stain on black people. That's it. That's all this is. That's all it ever will be. So when Trump decides to do more things to black people, he'll talk about it because he talked about Chicago, right? You know, he talked about Chicago. They got to send the National Guard to Chicago because Chicago is a cesspool.
Yeah.
Talked about D.C. You know what nobody talks about? That mayor in Baltimore. The mayor in Baltimore that brought crime down, especially the murder rate, the lowest it had been in 50 years. And you know how he did it? You know how they say we racist. You know how he did it? By calling the crime a health crisis and pointing out how racism, lack of access to resources was the cause. And all he did was give them kids and give their community more access to resources, and that reduced crime. Now, you would think if Donald Trump wasn't a racist, if Donald Trump loved black people, as he likes to portray, and he see the mayor of Baltimore has given him a blueprint to reduce crime in the black community instead of the National Guard, he should follow the mayor's blueprint. Doesn't the mayor work for the government? Isn't he about the government? That's what he would do. But because he's not, he's going to say, nah, Chicago, they criminals. We're going to send a National Guard in there. That's not going to fix the problem.
I got to get your take real quick because Jonathan Majors was dealing with a white girl who, of course, assaulted him. And he seemed to have lost, all of his Disney favor. Kang the Conqueror gone. They might bring him back.
I don't know.
They decided, but to see that a white woman in what was about to be, Disney, of course, is a powerhouse. To see a one white woman bring down that whole dynasty, let's just say, it's
what I tell you. You were her pet till she get finished using you. That nigga, you see that nigga on video running like he was still training for Apollo Creed.
Come on, goddamn.
And I think that's the lesson you're supposed to learn. And then what did he do? Who saved him?
Come on, man. And he said
a black woman saved him.
He said it, that by his side, a black woman was there the whole time.
The sad part is shouldn't have took him getting chased by a white woman to know that.
Hey, this for all the young black kings out there right now.
Leave that white woman. Listen, you want to go far, man, just leave the white woman alone. Just start there.
Hey, man.
Get with a black woman and you'll excel. but you got to know which black woman to get. Stop. I always trip out on how these black men, especially famous black men, sleep with the same famous black woman.
It's interesting.
It is diabolical. It's like they be sharing. You would think, like, if you got money, this is what I mean about power within yourself, because it ain't even about money, because they have money to be with, you would think, any woman they want, but they want the woman that their man's had. That's borderline gay.
Yeah, it's
right there.
Speaking of the same woman, stepfathers. A black man coming in and raising another black man's children. What is there something wrong with that? Is there like, should black men be looking for that type of dynamic in a relationship?
At the surface level, it shouldn't be like that. There shouldn't be no such thing as a stepfather, because a stepfather means you're stepping in for a man that's not there. But because we have broken homes, that's the norm. You meet a woman with kids, you don't frown upon it because your mama, you start thinking about your mama, your sister, or this is just the culture of black people, but that's not the way that it's supposed to be. So it's not bad. The only bad part comes when you try to be the father. You can't be a father. You can be a brother. You can be somebody that teaches them, shows them things, but you can't be like, hey, I'm your new daddy. You can't do that because he has a daddy. So you got to know when you going in here, you got to look at him like you would raise a brother. So he still has to respect you. He still has to follow rules, but you can't just come in there. And then the other flip side, if you're not going to stay with that woman, you shouldn't be around them kids either, which is a whole nother dynamic. You get with a woman, now I'm going to speak for somebody in the truth. If you get with a woman and you know you got to stay with that woman forever, and you know you're not a man that want to raise nobody else's kids.
Don't upload your song before this last step. Mastering makes your track.
And get with that woman, period. Because the woman comes with the kids. There ain't no you getting with this woman and the kids ain't in the picture, the kids are there. Now, if you decide to take the mantle of saying, I'm going to step in and be anything, you got to go in there knowing that you're not that kid's father. You can't act like that kid's father. And nor should you try to get rid of that kid's father. If you got an issue with being jealous, let's say, because that mother might have to communicate with that kid's father. And if you got an issue with that, you shouldn't get with that woman either. There's a lot that men should think about before they become what the world calls a stepfather.
No, for real. You know, we just spoke on Jonathan Majors, but I gotta get your take on the conversation that Jonathan Majors, Innerly the Great.
Oh, that's what he called himself, not chopping no more?
Yeah, not chopping no more.
Innerly the Great. I saw some video. He going at NBA Youngboy right now.
He is. He just dropped a whole new song about NBA Youngboy. But they spoke on Kirk Franklin's podcast, and he had made mention that he doesn't look at Jesus as the same level as God because Jesus is the Son of God. Therefore, we are all partitions of God. Therefore, that is his brother. Therefore, he should not even look at him as the same level or as God. And then Jonathan Majors, of course, said, hey, did you read the Bible? Read it again. What is your take on that whole back and forth?
Before I say that, I saw some of the video with what he was going at NBA Youngboy. I don't know if the rap is real good, but the concept of what he's doing, I can't disagree with that because he's really saying like, it's almost sound like NLE is changing. He's listening to somebody. I would say he's listening to the Israelites if he's saying Jesus is not God. Because if he's listening to Christians, he's going to say Jesus is God. And he's listening to somebody because this cat was a slut me out dude like a year ago. He wanted women to slut him out. It's diabolical. Yeah. And so now he's switching it up the way he's saying what NBA Youngboy is teaching or music is teaching is misleading. He don't want us to be the killers. So, and I ain't heard rappers talk like that in a long time. You got to go back maybe to the 90s where you would hear
Public Enemy.
Yeah, you would have to hear where you hearing rappers saying we shouldn't be doing like that. When it comes to that conversation, he's sitting at the table, Kirk Franklin and all of them if they're the example of the problem, because they looked at NLE as a kid that should speak when spoken to. You know that statement when they say kids should be seen and not heard? That's how they treated him. Instead of looking at it as an opportunity, like if NLE comes around me and we sitting around and he makes that statement, what that tells me is that this is a teaching opportunity with this brother. I want to bring this brother close to me. Now, remember, they're supposed to be Christians. Kirk Franklin's supposed to be a Christian. Jonathan Major's supposed to be a Christian. Here it is. You have a brother that's sitting in front of you that is speaking something that you disagree with as far as the order of Christ, but you don't disagree with him believing in Christ. So wouldn't the better thing for Jonathan Majors to say to him if he disagreed with him was to show him where he was wrong right then and there? He could have took that brother under the wing and said, hey, brother, no, it's not like this. Read this scripture. It's like this. I know you have to. That would have showed that he respected what NLE said and then taught him. But instead, he just shunned him away and said, you read your Bible? I would suggest
I don't even think he knew what, I don't think Jonathan Majors knew where to direct him.
Yes, I agree. But even, so now that's the other part. Let's say if you don't know what scripture it is, you don't tell him, you don't diss him.
Right.
Like if you don't know, you know what the scriptures say. The scriptures say even a fool when he keeps his mouth closed is counted as wise. He wasn't even talking to Jonathan Majors. He was just, him and Kirk Franklin is having a conversation. Jonathan Majors didn't like the fact that NLE said Jesus wasn't God and thought he was just going to check him. And so that's the only thing Jonathan Majors was doing. And Jonathan Majors, men like that hurt young men. And this is where Jonathan Majors should learn anything, because of Megan Good, if it took a woman to lift him up, it should have taught him how to be a brother to a brother that needed brotherhood. Like the greatest weapon we have in ISUBK is brotherhood. And because of that brotherhood, if he was with us, we would have taught him. Them cats, and then Kirk Franklin said we suffer from religious trauma, which actually was true when he said we suffer from religious trauma. The problem is they kept NLE in that trauma because instead of freeing his mind and teaching him, they just shunned him away and tossed him to the side. And then I heard earlier, I think he said Megan and them did something slick to him. Afterwards, I think NLE said after that, like, you never know what you do to brothers like that.
He shot at Megan a few months to a year earlier, and you know.
Oh, okay. There was some
things going on with that.
Wait. So then that might be why Jonathan Major said something to them.
That's exactly what he said.
Immigration is an important part of the government of Canada's plan to keep.
You feel it was from the earlier situation.
So Jonathan looking at you, man, you try to holler at my girl, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna put you in your place.
Yeah, that's diabolical. But NLE, you come on over here to ISUBK, we get you all the way right.
Let go.
All the way right.
Now I have to ask you, Kamala Harris is dropping an interview that should probably air when this airs, where she says that she feels like Joe Biden did not have her support or her back fully when she not only debated Trump, but also just running as president against Trump.
Mm-hmm.
What should Kamala Harris have expected from a Joe Biden who, again, when we talk about this nation, what was she should have expected from?
Kamala Harris should have been lucky enough that she was even in that position that she didn't even deserve in the first place. She had no criteria. The heifer changed her voice. She was Jamaican. She was white. She was East Indian. She black. Listen, the one thing Trump said about her that was true, he was like, I didn't even know she was black. Just all of a sudden, she was black.
When it's convenient.
When it's convenient, she black. But then any other time, she East Indian. So, Kamala wants to still feel relevant when she was irrelevant. She was so irrelevant that the most racist president got reelected again.
Yeah.
That's how irrelevant she was. That the whole Democratic Party left her and that she had to resort to Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion to try to get her elected.
Yeah. That says a lot. you just mentioned Jasmine Crockett earlier.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Jasmine Crockett? Her the way she goes about going against Republicans, and should she run for higher office in the future?
I think she definitely should. Now, I'm not a political man, but I like Jasmine. I like Jasmine because, first of all, her intellect is unmatched, and she got attitude. I like women with attitude, right? And what I mean by that is, and she has a controlled attitude. So she ain't up there like a loudmouth black woman. She's up there with an intelligent mind that she can properly just shut you down based on the facts, based on the evidence. I like when she was on the Jimmy Kimmel show and Donald Trump challenged her to an IQ test. And she says, I accept your challenge to the IQ test. Donald Trump doesn't realize the IQ test, I think, was for like dementia. They was testing him. He think he going in there for an IQ test to determine how smart he is. He going for a test for dementia. So on the Jimmy Kimmel show, instead of her getting offended at him saying that she's ignorant, she takes the same test right on the Jimmy Kimmel show. So now she got wit about her. So I think she's a fiery spark that I think more of us need to stand behind. You see, Stephen A. learned that lesson.
Well,
Stephen A. tried to talk slick about it. He had to apologize.
How do you feel about, like, you know, as a black woman, as powerful as she is and as vocal as she is in her right, like a brother like Stephen A. coming and trying to tell her that she needs to be quiet?
That's jealous. I think he's jealous that she has the heart that he doesn't first, because Stephen A. is a coon. Stephen A. speaks for white people all the time. And he's the step and fetch it dog to go and shit on a black woman. And that's a very danger. Like, I don't think there's nobody more harder than black women than us. But we also don't have a problem with a black woman shining if it's her time or position where she can shine at. So if this black woman is shutting up Donald Trump, shutting down his talking points, and he's one of the most racist entities, this is something that every black person should stand behind because we know who she's talking against. So for him to do that, that lets you know how much of a coon he is. So that's how I look at Stephen A. He's always been like that. Stephen A. has always been a sucker for white people. He don't stand for black people. When Kyrie Irving was making his statement and making his stance over the whole Brooklyn Nets and sharing the video, it was Stephen A. that was saying he should never play basketball again.
That was wild.
That's diabolical. To say never play basketball again over him sharing a link and just having a principle on something, but he doesn't have that same energy on the other side. And then what he tried to do to, which I think was to make up for it, was to try to say,
imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base.
Donald Trump and them is making the NBA the face and doing that to make a statement because the NBA supports the left. And the apology was to try to save face because he knew he was wrong, because Jasmine Crockett is damn near untouchable right now. Unless she do some real crazy shit, she should be the untouchable black woman and let her go out there and shut Trump down. So I love Jasmine. I love what she's doing, and she should keep doing it. Mm-hmm.
All right, you know, I'm gonna end on a conspiracy theory note.
Okay.
You know, there was recently some monkeys that crashed.
Yeah, the monkeys is loose. I thought
The
Outbreak. You ever seen that movie Outbreak?
Yeah, the Outbreak. That's exactly what I thought. That's exactly what I thought of. Like disease monkeys on the loose. 12 of them. Goddamn 12 monkeys. And then you hear about how the AIDS epidemic started, to where, you know, you hear in Africa monkeys, you know, AIDS was conceived, I guess you could say. When you hear something about the news saying 12 monkeys that are diseased with all kind of, you know, whatever diseases are on the loose, do you feel that's a conspiracy to introduce something new?
Yes, I'm actually going to go down the conspiracy rabbit hole on this one, because I don't see 12 monkeys breaking out of a cage. So which is wild. Either the story is fake or there's some new shit coming. I'm gonna jump down there with you, Joker. I'm gonna jump down there. We're gonna find out in 6 months. Cause when I saw the movie Outbreak, just immediately popped in my head. The movie 28 Days Later popped in my head. All of that shit just popped in my head, and I don't have a viable enough answer for you, Joe. I got to jump in there with you and say we're gonna have to wait and see if in 3 months to 6 months. What state? And it's always in the
that was in like Kentucky or I gotta pull it up.
Always in one of them little backwoods.
Yeah, it was some weird ass.
They can conjure up some shit, and if we hear some shit, then we
about 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
If some new popped around,
I'm gonna say, Joe. See, listen, I jumped in that window, jumped in that car with you.
Damn
on that one, man.
Man, with that being said, man, Cap, man, again, it's always a conversation having you on, man. I do want to make sure that for those that are watching this, those that are interested, those that are seeking knowledge and want to be part of what you're on, if you don't mind, please tell them how to get not only in contact with you and in contact with your people, but also to become a part of the movement itself.
I appreciate it. So again, I'm Captain Tazaryach of ISUBK under Commander Jenny Hanna. Our website is isubk.com. If you want to be a part of us, you want to on that website, there's a contact us where you'll see all the states that we're in. You can call that number, and then you'll begin to get in class. If you want to watch our classes, it's on YouTube. It's the One West online classes. You can check us out. We have classes Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. To 9 p.m. For me, before I do me, Commander Jenny Hanna, he does a radio show on YouTube. It's actually Commander Jenny Hanna's radio show on YouTube every Monday and Wednesday from 9 to 11. I myself have a YouTube channel called Captain Tazaryach TV. I go live pretty much every day. I do what's called the Car Chronicles, where I answer questions and talk about current events. That's where you can find us at. Man. I appreciate it. Shalom.
That's real. We have to ask, is there any shout outs you want to give?
I'll shout out Commander Jenny Hanna. Shout out to Captain Mama Quad that came up there out of Chicago. Captain Akkad, Shapat, Iowa Lum. Shout out to Captain Yabdazak up in Houston. Slocky for the rank order. General Hyman for the wise counsel that he always give me. I want to shout out my boy. He crazy as shit. Wack 100.
Shout out Wack.
That nigga's crazy as hell, but shout out to Wack. And I'm looking forward, actually, if you could set up the 607 Unk.
We're going to set that up.
Because if this one was crazy, I can only imagine how that one will go.
Yeah, no, we're going to set that up regardless. That's happening.
Yeah, definitely. So that's all my shout outs that I got.
With that being said, man, we got to say, man.
Wait, one more. One more brother. This brother by the name of Tommy Sotomayor. Him and I are cool. I've been to his house a couple times. We do podcasts together as well. So shout out to him too.
Now, Tommy, I don't know. I haven't heard anything from him lately, but he's not too fond of black women.
I know.
Has that changed?
Oh, it's the same. But some things he says about black women is good that he says it. He goes a little left field with it, but sometimes he's on point with it.
I mean, yeah, but I guess because you could say something about a black woman and still love your black woman. It just seems like he hates black women.
No, he has children by black women. He's with a black woman now.
Okay.
So, but that's his stick. He's just raw with it.
You're right.
So, but now I don't agree with everything he say about black women.
For sure.
But some things he says about black women be on point.
For sure. Well, with that being said, man, Captain, we just thank you for coming down and being with us, giving that knowledge. Man, you got a lot of wisdom. I love a brother with wisdom. I want to see you go far. I can't wait to see what you do. Captain Tazaryach, it's the best part. You are a real life street star.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? As usual, Captain Tazaryach always on point. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Another creation of the ISUPK and the commanding general, Yana. You know the thing already. That's why we implore you, Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, get inside the school. You know what I mean? As I can see, the brother bring out some heavy stuff. You know what I mean? And he's not just talking. He might give solutions for Black people. You understand? These are solutions. Before, you have a lot of black leaders that come out, you know what I mean, and say a lot of things to sound smart. But one thing with the ISUPK under command in General Yana, we give black people the solution. And you would have to be, you know what I mean, either ignorant or some racist white person in the comment to think that what you hear Captain Tazaryach says wasn't wisdom and wasn't the solution for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? So before we close out, though, I'm going to read through some comments. You know what I mean? Somebody said, look at this racist grifter. I mean, it's weird when you hear white people call black people or Hispanic racist. I mean, what is black people racism? In my mind, you know, black people can't be racist, you know. Black people can't set the police force to terrorize white people community, you know. Black people can't systematically, you know what I mean, oppress white people, you know. Black people has never, you know what I mean, lynched white people. So what we call racism? Criticism? You know what I mean? We have to wonder where white people call racism coming from black people. Criticism, telling the truth about what took place in history. If that's what you guys call racism, you guys don't know what you did. If that's what you call racism, you don't know white history. Because white people is the original racist on the face of this earth. So don't call nobody that term. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. You guys own that term. It belongs to you. You know what I mean? We would never want to take that term away from you, but we would definitely tell you the crimes that your people have committed. You know what I mean? All right. So this, somebody who name One Deep, you know what I mean, says black people F everything up. All right, let's analyze it. I mean, you went on the west coast of Africa, bought some people from the Africans who were selling us, bring them over here, abuse them, you know what I mean, do the most atrocious things to them, humanly possible, cut them off from who they are as a people. You know what I mean? They have no trace whatsoever of who they are, how they spoke, how they dress. To this day, the same people think they are Africans. You understand? They have no identity. They have no history, no love for themselves. You give them a white Jesus, even though the Bible says he's black. The Bible says black. You say, no, we not work with the Bible. You paint a white Jesus and you force it down our throat. Right? And then you're going to say, we mess up everything? No, you mess up everything. Because when you landed in the Americas, even here in Jamaica, you saw the native Indians, our brothers. You see? You saw the Tainos, the Arawaks. They were living just fine. You messed it up. You know what I mean? Unless you want to ignore history. You want to just forget about history like Donald Trump wants us to do. Forget about history. You know what I mean? And just what? Move on. Well, if we forget about history, you know what I mean? Maybe you can look at it that way, but if you take history into consideration, white people not only mess everything up, they mess up the whole world, the earth. You understand? So him say, look at Jamaica compared to America. Goofy. Jamaica is completely destroyed. You don't know if you ever visit Jamaica, but you tourists tend to come to Jamaica and visit the beaches and all them things and see the nice part of Jamaica. Have you seen where black people in Jamaica live? You might interact with black people, you know what I mean, on the tourist resorts. But you know where we live? You know about the garrison? You know about the ghetto? It's no different from our black brothers in America. So what are you talking about? You destroyed America and you destroyed Jamaica. If you know the history of Jamaica, you know who destroyed Jamaica. Even after invading in the 1600s. Even recently, when Jamaica in the 1900s. It's always your people, but it seems like you know what I mean, white people is so detached from reality that them don't know what their crime is. Your crime is the destruction of planet Earth and everybody and everything in it. That's your crime. Black people just litter and mess up the community and bring the property tax down. That's all we do. You bring the value of humanity down. You know what I mean? If you want to fix planet Earth, we have something that needs to, you know what I mean, be removed from planet Earth, and we know who that is. So without further ado, you know what I mean, click the like button, subscribe, you know what I mean. So tomorrow might have another reaction again. Of course, Captain Tazaryach, you know what I mean, in the ISUP kind of commanding general, you know, always bringing the fire. You understand? So yeah, big up on yourself, like, share, follow, subscribe. Shalom.